what's going on? Jonas here from Chart Websites, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Thrive Architect editor to put content onto a page. So I'm logged into the WordPress dashboard here, and now this is using a custom child theme that we've created on this website. So this will look a little bit different depending on what theme you're using, but for the most part, you'll have similar controls here on the page. Now, one thing I want to point out on this one, the template that is default template has a sidebar, which normally you would just use on the blog. So I left that, and then we set this to no sidebar, as well as we're hiding the title of this page. If you want to show the title, you would unclick this, or you would leave it off, right? But I'm going to hide it on this page, okay? So usually I do that, and then that way we're using the right template, and we're hiding the title before we start editing with the editor. Then you just come over here, click the green button, Edit with Thrive Architect. I already did that, so we don't have to wait on it to load. This is what it looks as soon as it opens. Now, the Thrive Architect editor, you can switch sides. Click on this gear icon, the settings icon up here, and you can pick whichever side you want it on. Okay, if you want it on the right. I prefer it over here. This is where it used to be. This is where it was when I originally got started. And I always have it over here. Now, this theme has a menu at the top automatically, and then either a logo or just the title of the website up here. And this is actually a header section up here. Now, in the theme settings, this could be changed to a logo, picture logo, or I think you can remove it completely as well. But what I normally start with is background section. So you just click on it. It's going to go to the bottom of the content that's already there. There was no content here. So basically, this is going to go into the area where we can start filling in. So I'm going to stretch it to the screen width. And if you want to make this a certain color, you come down here to background style. And this would be the solid color. You just make it whatever color you want. Normally, if it's going to be text, a white background or a light gray background is best. So words stand out better on the page. So you can either do that here, or you can make it here, make it white as well. You can do it that way. You can do a gradient if you want. So you have a color over on this side. Let's say that's white, and we have a red or a dark red on the other side, and then you can make it turn around. Actually, let me make this a little bigger so you can actually see it a better. Section height. So as you start placing content onto the section, it'll stretch itself, or you can use this slider here and make it bigger. Let me move this up here. So let me come back down here to the gradient, and then you can see better what we're doing here. So as you can see, you can make this go any which way you want, but I like to use it majority of the time. I'll have, let's say you have white at the top, like above it, and then you can also move this around, make the white go further down the section, whatever. You can really play around with this, and then you can delete it. Now, if you want a background picture, you would click on this icon right here, choose your picture, and then, is it going to go from the center, from the side? This is how it stretches as the screen gets smaller or bigger. Okay, so let me see if I don't have any pictures uploaded, but this is basically how you would do that. I'm just going to leave that for now. And then you can also overlay. Like, let's say you want to do let me just grab a picture real quick. I'll find something. desktop and websites and well, let me just grab my child theme picture I just created. So this will upload, and make sure as this is uploaded. Now this is I just resized it. It's not a very big picture, as you can see. It's 880 by 660 in size. But right here's your size. Make sure this is full size. If it's definitely want full size if you're going to do it as a background image. But as you can see, that's a little bit grainy because it's a smaller image stretched out. So you want to make sure if you're doing this a background image that it should be at least 1920 wide for a background image. But this, and then you can also make it static. What that does is you scroll over it, the picture stays there, the content moves over the picture, right? It looks like it's kind of in the background. So, but let me show you how you can layer these background layers. So let's say you want to do this. Let's keep this white and then make this partially transparent. See that? The picture is showing up. Come over to the black and let's leave that as black and make that transparent as well. But we're doing we should do it this way. So basically, now we have the white on this side, the dark on this side. You can play around with that any which way you want. And whichever one of these is at the top is going to be the one that's on the top of the layer. Like I can move this one down, and now the image is on top of the gradient, right? So you want definitely have the gradient on top of the image if you want it to have this effect. All right, let's make this just completely white. We have that. By the way, down here you can hit that plus sign. It'll save that color for you. You want to use it again later. I like to save my blacks and whites and whatever certain colors you're using on your website. Just click on that little plus sign when you're on that color, and it'll save it for use later. Now, as you start, usually this is what I start with. Okay, and then you can drag this over here and start typing, right? If you want to do some text here, this is a headline, okay? And right up here, we'll make it a headline 1, okay? Let me move this out of the way so you guys can see that bar. Notice this bar right here gives you all the text control. So that'll put it into the middle, put it on the side, put it on the other side. Obviously, this is your heading paragraph. You have to highlight this to make it bold, but that makes it bold. And obviously, do that, underline, all that good stuff, right? So if you want to create a link, headline, highlight whatever you want as the link and click on this and insert your link and hit insert, or paste your link and hit insert, and boom, you got your link. And then obviously we've got a ton of other elements we can drag over here, grab it and drag it. Sometimes you have to do this a second time and say drop an image below the headline. Okay, so that'll pop up. Let me just grab that image we used and post that there. Okay, now see the image is on the side by default. Come down here and we'll center it. We can make it smaller here if we want, or we can make it smaller here by the changes down here. Like I showed you, if you want to do it really small. Obviously, you don't want to do that and then stretch it out. Make sure you load bigger and then make it smaller here by the slider if you're going to. So that's that part. You can obviously style your image. Give it a dark frame, lifted style, circle, rounded corners, all that good stuff. Let's do a lifted style for now. Lots of things. You can make a link, insert a link for the image. So make that the image is a link, goes to another page or something. Image effects. Yeah, you can do some effects on there. It's just a ton of options. Then here's your layout and position. This is probably the one that you use the most. See how we've got some white space between the headline and the picture? Here's a 20 pixels of padding on the outside of the image. So we take that away and it moves closer. Okay. Now we also have, we don't have much here, but let's say we want to move the picture even closer. You can drag this and make it negative margins. Okay, negative pixels there, or drag it up, put it apart, boom, boom, boom. Okay. So, or you can also, another way to use this is take this, highlight your number here and type your number in. So let's say you want 100 pixels, you can just type 100 in there. Okay. Same way with the inside margins, padding, margins, whatever. That basically puts it on the inside. Normally you use the outside more than the inside, or else it'll look a little weird on the other screens, like on the other views. All right, so that's a picture, that's a headline. Now, one thing I want to always do. Now, let me point this out yet first before we go there. Notice how far this is down from the header. It's a little bit of space here. So, actually, let me click on the image. Oh, we're still on the image. See the image here at the top here? We've got our breadcrumbs. That's what that's called. Image and then background section. Come up here and click on background section. And then what I would do is I would take this top margin and move it up as far as it goes to the header. Now at some point it's going to, see the green line goes away? That's going underneath the header. The header is always going to be on top. So I would just go to right at the edge. We're at 101. So basically a negative 100 brings this all the way up as far as it'll go. Now one thing I would do probably is give this at least a 20 on the inside. So the especially if you decide to make the background a different color or image or something, you don't want the headline all the way up at the edge of the image or the different color. Okay, so that's how you would do that. Now keep this in mind, we're going to have to use this again every so often as you're changing stuff and moving stuff around. You want to come down here and hit the green save button. Okay, so you don't lose it if it accidentally something happens. But now right here, by the way, these three little dots are your preview button, your revision manager. Let's say you make a mistake, you have something right and you make a mistake where you mess it up and you want to do it back to a previous version that you had. You come in here and go back to a previous version that you had. Obviously exit here as well. And then there's undo and redo. But as soon as you save the changes, those will be deleted. You know, you can't undo what has already been saved, right? You have to go to a revision manager to do that. Now, that's the three little dots here. Responsive view, here's how you can edit how this page will look on a tablet or a mobile phone. Let me put this, where do I want to put myself? Right here. All right, so here you can see we've got our header, we've got this, but now notice the top of our text is starting to slide underneath our header. So what we're going to do is readjust this all the way down to where our green line appears again. Right there, it's negative 68 margin, okay? So now we have this one. And by doing it here on the tablet view, this is the tablet view, it does not affect the view over on desktop, okay? So always work from the biggest screen to the smallest screen when you're doing this. So in other words, we make sure your desktop version is the way you want it, before you go to the tablet version and then to the mobile version. Okay, now we're going to the mobile version. This is how it looks on a phone. So we've got this. Again, this is one thing I'm noticing here is see how our image is going all the way to the edge of the screen. That's generally not the way you want it. You want some white space along the edge. So let's see, we're still on the background section. And so what I'm going to do, see, it's actually not going quite to the edge. I got one pixel of margin here. So I like to do an inside of 10 or 12. That's on a mobile view. Okay, that's my personal preference. But see what that did? That just made it white space. Just makes it look a lot better. Now, as far as up and down, we're pretty good in my opinion. We don't have to change this again because on the tablet view, generally, if you're doing up and down on a background section, whatever you do in the tablet view is going to be very, very close on mobile view or good enough, right? One thing I would probably do here, since this is a lot smaller screen, is come over here to the text and make it just a little bit smaller. See that? Now it fits in one line and it's still nice and big, right? So that's, and as you do this, see now we're on 38, it's actually 38.5 pixel size for the phone. Let me go back to tablet. And here we're still on 40.5. Okay, so that was the original size. And the desktop size would still be the original as well. So whatever you change, now if you change the text on the mobile view, that's going to change it on all three views, okay? But just moving spacing around, you know, making it smaller, bigger, stuff like that, that's not going to affect the other views, the other two views, when you make that change on tablet or mobile, okay? But like I said, start with desktop, get it the way you want it, and then go to tablet view, and then go to mobile view. And usually when you get to mobile, if you have tablet right, mobile, you don't have to change a lot, if anything. All right, so basically that's what I would do. And then a great idea is always to break up your page into sections with different colors or backgrounds or layouts, depending on what you want. So it's not, people get bored reading a long line of text. So what I would probably do is go back here, click on background section, which is going to drop another background section down below the last one, and stretch it to fit the screen width, or else we don't get our color all the way to the side. Let's just make it a blue color. Apply that. Now what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to apply my 12 on the inside here right away, okay? And then let's do about 30 on the top and 30 on the bottom here. So our stuff, like we didn't do that here on the bottom of this section. That's why our picture's sitting right down on top. So let's do about a 30 here, and let's do 30 at the top as well. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of space between our edges, right? Now another thing you can do if you want is, let's go back to this background section right here, and further down, got borders and colors. If you want to put a border on the top, you would click here, put it on the side, bottom, that side, or whatever, or click the middle and it'll put a border all the way out around it. And this you can use borders and round corners on a lot of elements. Like there's a content box element. You can put a border around those. A lot of different of these elements have these options. You can do shadows. Here, obviously, there's a background shadow, so you want to do an inner shadow on this one if you do that. But I'll just make one here real quick to show you how it looks. I'm going to make the distance smaller and make the blur bigger. Spread bigger too. Okay, see that? Gives it a cloudy white edge, right? Actually, it looks pretty cool. I like that. Probably don't want to do corners on a background section, but you get the point. Responsive. Now here's where you can totally eliminate elements on another view. Let's say you have something that just absolutely does not show up properly, automatically, on a phone view, on a mobile view. So what I've done at times, and this is usually if you have a background image or a background section that has an image, okay, then it'll sometimes not look even half decent on a phone, because either the image is so big and you're only seeing a small part of the picture on the phone, or then it's just stretching itself all over the place. Sometimes it'll do that. So what you the way you fix that is you duplicate your background section and take the background image out of the second one. Okay, so if this one had a background image, take it off here. Okay, and then just go get the image. By the way, let's just do this one. You can duplicate stuff by clicking this little thingy here, and here's your delete, here's your duplicate, and here's your move around. So let's duplicate this. Okay, now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab this image, and we're going to drop it in the middle of this background section. Okay, now what I'm going to do is click on this background section, double check my breadcrumbs up here, and then we're going to come over here to responsive view, and we're going to hide it from tablet view and hide it from desktop view. And then this one we're going to leave on desktop, mobile, or tablet, but hide it from mobile view. Okay? Hopefully you guys caught that. Now let me go over to mobile view and I'll show you how it looks. See that? The other one is gone, and this one is here and is showing nicely on the mobile view with the image, right? The image is now on top of the background section, not an actual background image. Okay, so now it shows up properly. Let's go to tablet. Okay, see that? That's the other one yet. This is the one where I didn't actually put the image on, but we're pretending there's one there. It basically shows the same here. You know, tablet is showing the same as this one. So anyway, that's basics of using Thrive Architect. I absolutely love Thrive Architect. It's a live front-end editor. As you save your changes and you go about making this, you know it's going to look exactly the way you're building it, right? It's not going to look different. Now, obviously, you have to make sure you got your 3 views correct. Usually, most of the things you do on desktop will show properly automatically on mobile and tablet view, but sometimes there's some spacing you want to move around and maybe make some text bigger or smaller, move some margins and paddings and stuff like that. So there goes my phone. Oh, that's a telemarketer. So don't you just love telemarketers? Anyway, guys, that's it for my tutorial. Here comes my wife with my favorite energy drink. Absolutely love these energy drinks. And I'm going to cut this video off. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Head over to my blog. Check it out for more great tutorials and posts about websites and techie things and whatnot. And if you are seeing this on my blog, you might want to head over to YouTube and check out the rest of my videos over there. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.